what we can expect is we're talking about the Superman trailer. And even though I'm late to the party, probably by weeks, maybe even months, I'm excited.
Real Talk is collegiate interest entertainment. Mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. And spoilers ahead.
The James Gunn Superman that's coming out. I am super pumped about it. His movie Super is my favorite movie of all time. I absolutely love it. It has every aspect of every genre that you can think of. There's horror elements, there's action elements, it's funny, it's sad. I appreciate that in the trailer they have the original theme. Love the use of Hawkgirl in the trailer. Love the use of Guy Gardner's Green Lantern in the trailer. That's going to be a lot of fun, especially with Nathan Fillion. I will say this, here are the pitfalls of James Gunn. Recently, James Gunn has fallen into a formula where he has a group of misfits not taking things too seriously, then by the end they take something seriously and they save the day, that kind of thing. You can even see this with his earliest work, which, believe it or not, he wrote the Scooby-Doo movie. Obviously, James Gunn took over the DC franchise, and we'll see how that goes. I gotta be honest, guys, I think it's gonna be fine. He makes great movies, he makes great series. You don't have anything to worry about. Though, I will say this, that there is a major difference between the philosophical underpinnings of what DC is and the philosophical underpinnings of what Marvel is. Marvel, as a whole, is about people, and DC is about ideas. So, Marvel, you take Peter Parker, you take Iron Man, you take X-Men. What do those stories talk about? Peter Parker is always struggling to pay rent. Iron Man, usually struggling with some kind of addiction. X-Men, usually some form of veiled bigotry. Usually Marvel deals with the conversation of what human beings and how they treat one another. DC, on the other hand, deals with big, lofty ideas. So the story of Batman and Joker is really about the difference between order and chaos, and the same thing about Superman and Lex. It's the difference between freedom and tyranny. So the reason that Batman and Superman make such good contrasts is because Batman fights the Joker. The Joker, you never know what he's about to do. He's free completely, mentally. He can do anything you want. And you, understanding that he's this Bugs Bunny surrogate, accept that. Superman is kind of the same. He's all-powerful. He can do whatever he wants. But he'll always do the right thing, or at least attempt to do so. Lex is the Batman surrogate, always kind of the billionaire, playboy, philanthropist kind of a person, always trying to stop the all-powerful, unstoppable force of nature. How Marvel and DC portray their characters is very different. DC portrays their characters as the modern equivalent of a Greek god. You have the Greek characters, the Greek gods, like existing on Mount Olympus. DC's equivalent of that is Superman is at the head of it. He's this Zeus character. Batman is the Hades character. You have Poseidon, who is obviously Aquaman. Hermes, the Flash, so on and so forth. DC treats their superheroes as gods. The major difference being the fact that there are actual secret identities of these people. In Greek mythology, there were the gods, and then sometimes they would manifest as like animals even. You wouldn't know who the gods were because they would hide themselves amongst the people. Marvel doesn't necessarily do that. In fact, the very first movie in the Marvel franchise was Iron Man, and it ended with I'm Iron Man. They don't do that.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun.
Henry Cavill is an excellent actor, and he got shafted with his role of Superman. I still think that he could be an excellent Superman. Unfortunately, he was not given the opportunity to do so. The thing that's been an issue with Superman lately is the fact that he's infallible. And he just kind of walks into every situation and he just gets over it. That's why we have the overplayed trope of evil Superman. It's because that type of character, your Homelanders, your Ultramans, your Brightburns, yeah, that's how it would go. If somebody goes unchecked, that's how it would go. It wouldn't be the big blue Boy Scout kind of thing. But the thing is, there's something called a Mary Sue or a Gary Drew. This derives from a fan fiction of Star Trek, where the character of Mary Sue just kind of goes throughout the whole story unchallenged, and at the end just kind of achieves whatever goal that she was going for. There's no stakes, there's no ups and downs, no peaks and valleys. Like, you just kind of read the whole story and you're just like, what am I doing here? The most modern example of this would be Rey Skywalker. I can't name a single challenge she had to overcome where she didn't just go into the situation like the most confident, capable person in the room. So, most writers don't understand what Superman is. Yes, Superman is all-powerful, and you have to stay true to that. Obviously, he has the weakness of kryptonite, but he's usually the strongest person in the room, fastest person in the room, fly, leap tall buildings, a single bound. The problem that people have with Superman when they write him is he never overcomes death. The fact that he could potentially die in the story that never really shows up, he never fights death. He never has to battle with death. What he has to battle with, so it has nothing to do with him getting a kryptonite spear to the chest. It has everything to do with, can he stop the nuke and save his girlfriend from a gunshot to the head at the same time? That's the impossibility that Superman has to deal with. So in storytelling, usually with a character, they begin one way and then they go through an arc and a journey. At the end, they're a different person. So like from beginning to end, if you were to take the person at the end of that movie, put it in the front, they would make the same decisions twice. Most stories do that. Some do not. Mostly children's stuff, this is what's known as a flat arc. In Captain America: The First Avenger, the character of Steve Rogers is more or less the same as who he began as then at the end. Morally, nothing happened. Sure, he got the super soldier serum, he got really strong and punched Nazis in the face, but the thing is, he, at the beginning and the end, philosophically was the same person. Everyone else around him is the one that changed. That's why you, as an audience, accept that story. He changed everyone for the better. So everyone in a flat arc, aside from the character that everything, all the conflict centers around, everyone else changes. You can think of Paddington 2 and a couple other children's movies. Usually it's because the character is just so perfect in every single way that when they show up, it just kind of infects everyone else with either positivity or justice. So, explaining that type of story is what a Superman story should be. You should take the character of Superman, who more or less is perfect, and then you make everyone else around him change, and for the better.
Crypto. Home. Take me home.
It seems, based off of this comic book here, my favorite Superman comic, All-Star Superman. It's absolutely outstanding and stellar, and if you haven't read it, read it. The reason I think that this is going to be an All-Star Superman story is because the integration of Krypto, you have an Ultraman character, which is supposed to be the Bizarro surrogate for this story, and the main antagonist is Lex Luthor, which, let's be honest, as an antagonist for Superman stories, is overplayed. Out of every Superman movie that's out there, I think he's been the villain for like 90% of them. The only one I can think of is Superman 2 and Man of Steel. Everything else has been a Lex. Spoiler alert, everybody. If you haven't read All-Star Superman, click off of this right now. Stop. Don't watch this. Yeah, I know. I don't want your money. Go away. All-Star Superman. Superman in it. He gets supercharged by the sun. He goes up into space to save astronauts from some vague threat. Then he gets his powers are heightened. And at the end of this story, you're told that he is going to die. His powers are now all the way to the nth degree, supercharged all the way. He's stronger than ever before, faster than ever before. So we're heightening up that Gary Sue, Mary Drew situation. And this All-Star Superman story is just a big old love letter to the Superman franchise. You have Krypto, you have Bizarro, you have Lex Luthor, you have Parasite, you have all these different characters just kind of coalescing into one crescendo of a story. So guys, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about that trailer, where you're coming from with it. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to optimism. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be there day one. I don't care what the reviews say. I'm going to see it. I'm a big fan of James Gunn. I think it's going to work out really good. I'm a bigger fan of Superman and DC. So I think it's going to work out. All right. Hope to see you at the movie theater, y'all. It's going to be fun.